everyone, I'm back. I'm back and I've still got the same lurgy or a different lurgy or a piggyback lurgy, whatever you want to call it. And I just thought I'd start with a little bit of massage, because when we feel poorly, it's so nice to like stimulate your bones, isn't it? Rub them bones. Not actually sort of massage my skin, but I'm really crunchy. These are the lovely Ilia Rose quartz that I mentioned in my Christmas gift list, which I absolutely love. Are you quite crunchy around your jaw? It's all the fascia, the connective tissue that builds up with tension. It's really quite nice around your sinuses. Anyway, hello, I hope you're well. Still haven't managed to get my hair dyed. I really like changing colour. It's really annoying when your hairdresser goes away. Unexpected, right? So because of how I'm feeling, I thought we'd do a nice shaping video. So I'm going to go through a few contour techniques with a really lovely new product from Beauty Pie. And I know many of you are Beauty Pie members, and if you're not, please use my code. Caroline B sent me, you get £10 off your membership because they've got a new product out and it's really nice, and it's really nice because it is very sheer. And I want to run through some contouring tips and tricks and things to avoid, and a few trends that have been quite annoying me that I want to kind of clarify on application. I'll go through that in a minute. Oh, this oil is super, super lovely. It's by a brand called Tropic, which I don't think I've ever mentioned Tropic. Oh no, maybe I have, because I used to love their lip balm. It had a really lovely caramel lip balm, but it's an organic brand sold independently by different sales executives who work for Tropic. I think it's, you know, people love Tropic. Anyway, this oil, Radiance Boosting Amiga oil, and it's got rosehip in, which is really calming, and pomegranate, but it's a really juicy oil. By what that's, I mean, it's not thin and oily. It kind of just feels really rich. So yes, if you're Tropic fans, do let me know. Quite like that oil, and yeah, I need to kind of investigate the brand further. Anyway, right, so contouring. Let me just introduce you to the products first. Beauty Pie have actually brought out 3 different shades, so it's not one shade to kind of create that shadow. It's 3 different colours. Now the light one you could even just use to kind of warm up your complexion, and that's what contouring is all about. It's all about adding depth to your face to elevate your facial bone structure, therefore kind of beautifying your features. It's not about, you know, sort of creating a war paint kind of camouflage brown mess on your face. And actually the trend that I was talking about is what people are saying online, which I think is really, really misleading, is they're saying start with your contouring first and then use your foundation over the top with a big brush. Please don't do that. Unless you're using something that's really thick and theatrical that needs to have a kind of veil over it, which I've definitely done before at work. You're really kind of changing someone's facial structure, then you'll just end up without any shape on your face at all, and you'll mix the colours together, and the actual overall effect will be that your skin will look much darker. So please don't do that tip. Please follow my instructions, and that will help you benefit your makeup application when using contouring. The reason they would get away with it is because they've got, pretty much like me, quite strong cheekbones, quite strong jawline, so if they do mash it up all over the face in a good light, they still get that angle to their face, and that's why it's misleading. But if you've got a slightly rounder face and you want to kind of create dimension under your chin, contouring is such a great thing to do if you use products that are really natural. So I would suggest to you first, let me just is to start with your foundation first. And because I'm just going to take the excess oil off, because I've been a little bit under the weather, my skin is like so thirsty, so I'm actually not going to remove it. I'm going to keep that on there because it's got a lovely warmth to it after the massage. So I'm a little bit redder, along with kind of like being Rudolph's sister, my little red nose. No matter how soft your tissues are, you still got that red nose. I'm going in with a bit of CC It Cosmetics, which I haven't used in a long time. Go back a few years, I used to use this all the time. Really, really enjoy this. In the winter time, I'm not really one, this shade is light. I'm not really one for light makeup. I mean, obviously if I can't be bothered, of course, but I do feel I need a little bit of coverage because especially when you're poorly, because I actually look sort of bluey grey, don't I? Again, I'm going to apply it with my fingers and then I'll buff it in later with a brush, but I just want to make sure that I get all the product on my face first. And then I'll buff it in, otherwise it just gets lost in the brush. But I wanted a little bit of coverage. I wanted the look, because of the contouring sticks are kind of, they've got these like microspheres in which kind of catch the light, so it doesn't kind of create this sort of like very dense, hard sort of stain to your skin. It's really, really soft. So I wanted a bit of coverage to make my skin look as good as possible, but I didn't want it to be sort of too heavy, and then the contour would then look heavy, and then it would kind of make my look sort of quite made up. And there's a fine line, isn't there, as you get older. The more you do, actually you can kind of tip the age scales over and you can make yourself appear older. And I think that's also about the style of makeup. If you do too much makeup on an older face, it tends to kind of throw you back to the 80s a little bit and therefore make you look older. But a modern makeup, a modern fresh makeup can really, you know, enhance your beauty, making you look fresh and younger and therefore just a little bit more modern. And those sort of tonal makeups do work really, really well, don't they? I love a good old tonal makeup, and that doesn't mean tonal and boring, tonal and flattering. I don't think I even need to buff that out. Let me just take this brush here, very softly. Did a little bit of dermaplaning on my skin the other day, so I'm not as furry as I was the other day. Good, that's all I need. I want to keep that on. Now, as a concealer, what shall we use? Let's use a little bit of the NARS. I'm going a bit old school today, aren't we? We're going back. I haven't used the creamy concealer in a long time. I love the matte one, as you know, but because I'm going to use it around my nose and around my eyes, because I need a bit more extra coverage, I don't want it to be the matte formula, because, well, on my nose probably would be fine. Nice winter sun coming through. That made the lighting go really dark now. I'm sure you can see. What was I saying? The matte one is fantastic sort of around the perimeter of your face when you're kind of working with pigmentation, but a little bit of longevity against the IT Cosmetics. I mean, it does go on very well, the IT Cosmetics look. And I remember I did have that oil on my skin first, so that's kind of giving it that dewiness, but it feels after the massage. I mean, massage is so good. Why don't I do it more? I wish I had time to do it every day. One, I can't be bothered. But I should be bothered. It's a bit like exercise, isn't it? I mean, you never regret it when you do it. Oh, should. There's so many shoulds at this time of year, right? They're all good shoulds. Good shoulds. There we are. That'll be my hashtag of this week. The good should. Good. You try and say it. Right, okay, so happy with my base. So I'll show you all the different shades. Slightly confusing, Beauty Pie. Not that probably everyone would buy all the shades, but they're all the same colour on the outer packaging, so it would have been nice if we had different colours on the outside to be helpful for makeup artists, but obviously sort of makeup artist brand essentially, is it? Okay, so this is the lightest shade. Look at that. Really nice. And what I love about this, it is not too grey. It's warm. It's a bit like the Glossier bronzer, but this is more of a contour, and it comes in the lovely sponge applicator. This is the medium shade. It's a great comparison. Lovely. That's going to look really nice. Might even just use it on my eyes. And this is the dark. Again, nice and yellow. So really good. Really, really nice colours. And actually, I could probably use this as a little bit of base for the darker colours, obviously. No, you don't want to look that kind of colour if you've got paler skin, but the darker colours are really nice, actually. So, it also comes with a little brush. It's a double-ended brush, which is great because it's short and stubby. So short and stubby brushes allow you to get the colour on in a strong way, okay? The buffing brush, where it's kind of like dual fibre here, just softens it. Okay, so you don't want to put it on and soften it and spread it too much, because when you are contouring, when you're shaping your face, you need to get the colour in exactly the place you want, and it mustn't spread. Hence why I hate that trend. It's so annoying. Hate trends like that don't work. Try not to get on my soapbox too much, because really it's just not worth it, and I could do it every day. Right, let's go in with the light one. So let's try, okay, so let's do it. You're probably going to do it from the applicator, and then you might use a sponge. But what I'm saying is, what my brain was trying to file then was, you can actually take it from here, let's just take it off my hand, and apply it if you wanted to. So if you feel that you've kind of got like fullness under your chin here that you want to recede, placing it under here is a wonderful, very old school Hollywood trick, because it just kind of brings that darkness there. Now obviously myself, I've got quite an angular face, and I don't have that pocket under there, but I'm showing you to help you. So I understand that you might be annoyed, like, oh, you don't really need the contouring. Actually, I love contouring my face, especially in this way, and especially with this lighting, as annoying as it might be, where it goes in and out and pink and blue and green and grey. Maybe some of you don't notice, but I do. I often think maybe I'll just get a studio and just go to the studio and it's all the same, but I quite like it because I hope for you it conveys a sense of realness. So all I'm doing is I'm just re-sculpting the underneath part, and you go right underneath. So if you've got this little area that sort of sags down there, you want to just colour that in and look in the mirror and look at what you're doing, and just basically, if I'm doing someone's face that wants a little bit more an angular look, I'll just push back that bit that's catching the light there, and it makes such a difference. But look, I haven't even blended that. Oh, this is such a good product. Okay. I really, obviously contouring is something that we've done for years and years. Look, you see, can you just grab that there, sharpen that here for me, and then use that soft brush. See how that really picks up that nice angle there, so it looks really, it's like I've been literally, I don't want to say the word snatched, it doesn't really suit me, does it? But it looks like I've been really sharp in focus. That's what I like about contouring, that's what I like for my clients. It just gives you that kind of like edge, that really sort of polished edge, and it really does relay very well on camera, photography wise. It really does pick up and help the camera to kind of capture your face in the most beautiful way. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, it's art, isn't it? Light and dark, playing with shadow. So if you have a fuller chin here, and you have a softer jaw, this is kind of what you want to do. You want to make sure that you don't leave any lines, and that's why it's lovely to do that. I mean, I literally don't have any lines, but look at that great shadow that's causing. And please always do it in daylight, because unless you're going to be in a beautifully lit box and you're meeting everybody, when you go outside, you just look grubby. Okay, contouring is such a hard thing to nail, but what I love about these colours is they're in between. They're in between that sort of like tonal dark shade, which you're trying to mimic the natural shadows in your face, which you can sort of see here in my face. But if you've got a face that's like slightly fuller, you want to add that. And also, it's almost kind of like emphasising what I do with the concealer. I'm putting the light concealer here all the time, rather than putting that really light concealer in the centre of my face. I'm darkening the outer side of my face to throw the light a bit forward. I hope that makes sense. Right, I'm going to stay with the light, and I'm going to now, rather than using the flat side, I'm going to use the angle, the side of the sponge. Now, as I look, I can obviously see that natural shadow, but a lot of people struggle to actually see their features. So what I mean by that is they just don't know where to put the product. They get really confused, like, ooh, they get quite scared. So, as a little trick, as you do sort of measuring your eyebrows, top of the ear to the outer corner of your mouth, okay? So this is like a little kind of curve, right? Now that will be where your cheekbone sits. Now what you need to do is create a graduated line, okay? So it's really, really soft like that. It starts soft, it goes deeper, and it pulls back. Okay, so now you've got that nice line. Take the short stubby brush and pull up. So you want to just keep that line there, and you want to bring this up to really carve in and curve out that cheekbone. Now, the wonderful thing about this is it blends beautifully into my skin. But you want the graduation. So I'm going to pull that there. I'm just going to let that settle in, because over time it just dries, and then very lightly just let it wafty. It doesn't feel oily or anything like that. Just glide over and do some little circles. My touch, oh my God, we're going into a gale now. I started when it was sunny and now it's gale force. Here we go. Sorry, and just twist the little brush. It breaks up the pigments, but you've still got that shape. You see how lovely that is. And then you just do it to your desired finish. I would wait there, don't panic, don't think, oh no, it's too much. It's when you add a little bit of colour over the top as well that comes in, but I really, really love that. So again, let's go through that again. Mind's eye, top of the ear, the corner of the mouth. You start light, press heavier, lift off. So you get that nice graduation, and then feather, 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 and it's a slight curve. It's a slight curve, not straight line, not solid straight line. And then bring up, bring up, bring up. So you're kind of really creating and really emphasising that beautiful curve of your cheek. Now coming to the front of the face, look in your mirror and you can see your pupil. From your pupil goes straight down. Okay, this area here, no more contour, no more contour. So I actually probably want to put a little bit of concealer just at the front there to make sure that that's not reading. I'll get a nice soft brush as any darkness, because you don't want that darkness at the front. Okay, so just keep that there because that will just keep the fullness of your face. Great, okay. Go back and just do the little twizzle, twizzle, twizzle until it's nice and soft. Break up that line. Beautiful. Now, as I look at myself, I think nice jaw, nice angle here, but there's nothing here, right? It's reading flat. So what I would do for this part, I wouldn't really use the applicator. And check I put the right colour on. I wouldn't use the applicator, okay, because you're going to get too much. What I would do is put a little bit of the colour on the back of my hand and then take the soft brush, pull my hair back and then push that colour right in to the hairline. Okay, so you get that first, you see the difference, you push it into the hairline and then you feather it out so it blends and connects, just like a bronzer really, but it's delicate, hence why they've got a small brush, right? Really, really delicate. Now as I pull back, you can see now how that becomes part of my face. Again, with a slightly, if you want to shape your nose, take the small brush, take it from the inside of your eye, down, and straighten, and then soften. This is a trick that I don't like to do on myself because I've got quite a strong nose and it makes me look really made up, and that's not really my vibe. But what I'm trying to say to you is that that is exactly what you would do with it. But to correct it, you just do the lighter colour because I don't want that sort of darkness around my nose. If you want to kind of create a little bit of warmth, then you can put it over the top of your nose. So if you want to sort of use like maybe, oopsie, I've just caught a little bit of sunshine or whatever, you just place it a little bit over your nose like that. But that's not really about face shaping so much, that's just about adding warmth to your skin. So we'll just lift that there. And there we go. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope you can see that that really brings my bone structure into a kind of very kind of polished finish. So just to finish off, I'm going to do a little bit of colour. Let's put a bit of Hourglass Locked mascara on so it stays nice in place. I just like fuss-free makeup, and I love an Hourglass mascara, as we know. What's your favourite? Do you prefer Caution or do you prefer Unlocked? This is like an instant extension mascara, whereas the other one is much more of a volumizing mascara. Oh, someone's at the door. Hi. Luckily my husband's in today. So I'll just use that to create nice definition and lift, and it will stay put. Don't do anything on my eyes. Now, the wonderful Priyanka Chopra Jones has done a collaboration with Max Factor, a brand that hold very close to my heart because I've worked with them for so many years. And she has brought out a nail range, a lip range, and some eyeshadows. And this is my favourite colour. It is so brilliant. It is called Wild Flamingo. Oh, let me just get rid of my face and you can see the colour. That is so nice. And I really feel that I need colour in my life so much. That's why I can't wait to get my friend in as well. The brighter the colour, the better. I have to match this with a lip liner because it's got shea butter in. It's so moisturising and I get a bit scared that it moves around. But look at this, right? Look at this. This makes me feel young, fresh, vibrant. And it's such a lovely, lovely formula to wear, especially when our lips are always a little bit drier. So that's so nice. Woof! She's got the pinks going on. I'll finish with a little bit of Laura Mercier liner. Not necessarily at the bottom so much. So I just tuck that in to make sure the colour works right, but more just to help with the top lip. Lovely. Now, hands together. Just a little bit of warmth so that I don't look too angular. And it just takes the edge off the contouring. So whatever lippy you want to, and I've gone all quiet, gentle now. So whatever lipstick colour you choose to wear, just add that accent of colour to the front of your cheeks. Good. Okay. Right, I think as one last touch to this makeup, I'm going to take the Triple Beauty Luminising Wand, and this actually is the same packaging as the new contour. But I've used this product lots before. Squeeze it, turn it, squeeze it. Always just practice on your hand first, just to make sure it's coming out with a little bit of fluid. I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight just on my nose to sort of brighten that, because I don't like to have the angle shape on it. So just a little touch here, just to really enhance and amplify, and just to really extend that nice light that's coming off there, and just underneath the brows. What I love about this is it's really cooling as well when you put it on. Lovely. Great. Well, I hope that's been helpful. I hope the lighting hasn't driven you mad. Do let me know. What do you prefer? Do you prefer like someone who's in the studio with kind of like normal light, or it's like constant, the same, but then you can sort of lose a little bit of detail? Or do you like honest, real light that drives you mad and goes up and down? I'll be very interested to hear your thoughts actually on that. I'm not sure what I prefer. I mean, probably be easy if I just put myself in a box and filmed every time, but I think I quite like the realness of this. But anyway, let me know. I hope it's been helpful. I hope you learned a few things, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.